Okay, now that you have learned about how atoms bond, we're going to look at how chemical reactions, which is the rearranging of elements and compounds, can transfer energy. So examples are like a hand warmer, that when compounds or elements interact, then they will either release or absorb energy. Okay, so our essential question is, how is energy transferred in these chemical reactions? So your learning target for today is, where'd it go? There we go. Learning target 42, describe how energy is transferred during a chemical reaction. So remember, a chemical reaction is where we take matter, whether it's an element or a compound, and they react and form new substances, so that matter gets rearranged. So we're going to look at when matter does get rearranged, what's going on with the energy. So energy is either released or absorbed during a chemical reaction. Reactions that release energy, the products are more stable. Their bonds have less energy than the reactants. Extra energy is released as either light, thermal, or sound. So an exothermic reaction are chemical reactions that release energy. So if you take a look at this diagram, the reactants, this is a scale of energy, the reactants have more potential energy, and when they react, they release some of that potential energy as light, heat, or sound, so that when the products are formed, they have less energy than the reactants because some of that energy has been released. So examples of that is, oh, that's a typo, is burning wood releases heat and light energy, so the reactants have more energy than the products. Rust, when iron reacts with oxygen, iron has more potential energy, and it releases some as heat into the atmosphere. So oxygen, the products, have less energy. And that's also how heat pack or hand warmers work. The reactants inside a heat pack have more energy, and when they react, they release that heat energy, so the products have less. So that's an exothermic reaction. An endothermic reaction does the opposite. Reactions absorb energy. So the reactants have less energy than the products. So what happens here is the reactants, when they react, that potential energy gets absorbed into the products as well as some of the energy from the atmosphere. So to give examples of this is a cold pack. Okay, you hit a cold pack and the reactants have less energy than the product, so it releases off some of that energy and or absorbs some of the energy from your surroundings, so that's why it feels really cold, because it's taking in thermal energy from the atmosphere. Okay, so those are the two types of reactions, and that's how energy can be transferred through a chemical reaction.